Many people are alarmed by the growing number of robberies. That's why police are taking a proactive approach. Residents hope the search will bring answers to the question, what happened to Pete Peterson? A criminal offense could be jail time plus the fine. Simply put, if it's too hot for you, it could be too hot for your animal. Donations like this, put them in these bins, and once these bins get full, they're brought over here to this truck for the Salvation Army, and the Salvation Army then takes them and sorts them. And joining me now is Tim Clark, Captain Tim Clark with the Salvation Army. Tim, what happens with these supplies once you get them? It's still kind of a mystery. They really don't know what sets these people on. The music is going down here and it's filling up with people. Down at the waterfront, though, it's a different situation. It's basically empty except for crews, which are finishing putting everything together. Bryant and Cini were very close, and during the trial, Bryant kept a photo of his friend in his jacket pocket. But despite that, the judge sentenced Bryant to 15 years in prison with all but 9 years suspended. Search teams are combing the forests of Southwest Harbor, looking for any evidence that can help them identify the remains of a body found in the area. With just 500 residents, the town of Cambridge sits in the northeast corner of Somerset County.
Everyone's like family in this town.
But the rosy image of life here is met with a dark thorn. Caution tape wraps around the Licata home. Detectives work to piece together the final moments of 63-year-old Alfred Licata's life. Flags mark the spot where he died in his front lawn the night before.
People here are all wonderful people, and I'm really shocked about it. And people so far that have come in have said the same thing. They're really surprised.
Police say Licata's wife Arlene found his body. They say the couple's 33-year-old son Angelo committed this crime. Now he appears in district court in Skowhegan on charges of murder.
They were very quiet. I mean, you never hear anything of them from another family member, especially their son. You wouldn't expect that.
According to court documents, Licata may have died from a blow to the head. The exact cause of his death is under investigation.
It kind of makes me not want to walk around in this town anymore, and for a while until things are all done and not so suspicious.
I think it's a one-time incident. This is a very quiet town, and like I said, really good people. I'm really surprised, and I feel bad for the family.
A police report states that Angelo Licata turned himself into the Waterville Police Department after admitting to a friend he had just killed his father. Like so many other small towns in Maine, community members say they've learned to band together during hard times. They say they'll reach out to the family and help them any way they can now.
We will get something together for the family, and if they need any help at all, we usually will send food to them or any help they need. We like to do something from the store.
A community troubled by a dark night of violence. In Cambridge, John Zero, News Center.
It's the real sign of spring.
The Kenduskeag Canoe Race is here once again, and so are the lines of excited onlookers.
The ones who started it at the beginning, they're here every year, and some of them are not racing anymore, but they still show up every year.
I like watching the people tip over on the falls. And I like just hanging out with the family and the kids, really, and the dog and the husband. Just getting outside.
This year is the 45th year of the race. Runoff from heavy snowfall has swollen the Kenduskeag stream, but these enthusiasts don't mind the added challenge.
Love it. The speed is a lot higher this year, so it looks a lot faster. It's great.
Some race fans come to cheer on friends as they make it through 6 Mile Falls in dry clothes. Others cheer on the ones who don't.
Some people come down like it's no problem, and then others, like these guys here, just tipped over quite a bit. So some tip and some don't. Oh, this guy is soaked.
This is Jeff Burns' second race down the Kenduskeag. This time he had to be pulled from the water by emergency responders.
We got twisted sideways, went right into a log, kayak went down, water in, we're out. And then just got swept down the falls.
There has been some spills, and there's some canoes going down the river without any people in it, but no major accidents.
Rescue crews stand by to help paddlers if they get in over their heads.
They saved our lives out there. I went from all the way down on my back till about here, and it was a pretty hairy experience, but it was worth it. Good time.
A 16-mile race that's sure to be a wet and wild ride.
Hey, you guys made it!
In Bangor, John Zero, News Center. December 7th, 1941.
In an hour and 50 minutes, 2,403 people lost their lives.
70 years later, veterans in Bangor remember the attack on Pearl Harbor. Robert Coles was serving on a destroyer. He was 2 weeks short of his 18th birthday when he saw Japanese fighter planes flying overhead.
I saw the bombs or stuff falling out of the aircraft hitting Ford Island or stuff like that. And in my teenage mind, I just quickly said, this is not a exercise, this is not a drill, this is war.
Coles says he loaded a .50 caliber machine gun and began firing at the enemy planes.
I was breathing heavy, but I wasn't scared because it was happening around me and not to me. I saw this huge black explosion, which turned out to be the Arizona. And behind me, I saw another explosion, which turned out to be the USS Shaw.
As a nation, we clearly connect with the day. It defined our history at that particular point in time and really who we've become since then.
Today we're here to honor, to remember, and to hold in prayer those service people who are serving in the armed forces in Hawaii.
Many of us go off for a year and come back. My father and his generation went off and came back when it was over. And I think that's the remarkable part about this service, even to this day in my mind.
A battle that pulled the nation into war.
Carry on and do the best of your ability. The country, don't fall asleep again.
And the men and women who stood on guard. In Bangor, John Zero, News Center. Southwest Harbor is usually full of boats this time of year, but severe weather has emptied the harbor.
With the rush of the storm, everybody cleared out fast.
Tropical Storm Sandy is moving its way up the East Coast, and fishermen in Maine are taking no chances. Rough surf can cause major damages.
We had gusts up to 55, sustained like 45.
We had some good decent gusts. I don't know if we got the 60 knot like they were planning on, but definitely things were rocking and rolling down here.
But not every harbor is at risk. Harbor Master Sean Murphy says many fishermen have brought their boats to Northeast Harbor to weather out the storm.
I think we've probably got 30 boats over here just for the storm. Extremely protected harbor. We don't get the surge up in here.
Murphy says to tie everything down and use common sense. It's better to be safe than sorry with a storm the size of Sandy.
Glad it didn't hit like, it could have like the other places. I'd hate to think that we'd be, going through what they're going through.
Hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst. In Southwest Harbor, John Zero, News Center.